Good evening and a very warm welcome to the news this evening. I'm Isha Shah. The Union Cabinet today announced key decisions after a meeting chaired by Prime Minister Modi, while the US House of Representatives failed to elect a new speaker for the first time in more than 100 years. We'll take a look at the most important developments of the day from India and across the world in the next 30 minutes. Let's begin with the headlines. Cabinet approves National Green Hydrogen Mission worth more than 19,000 crore rupees. Mission envisages investment of over 8 lakh crores and creation of 6 lakh jobs by 2030. Emphasis on making India a green global hub. Cabinet approves investment of over 2,000 crore rupees for Sunni Dam project. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approves Broadcasting Infrastructure and Network Development Scheme for Prasar Bharati till 2025-26. Cold wave sweeps North India. Orange alert issued in Delhi NCR. Severe cold projected for next 3 days in northwest India. For the first time in 100 years, Speaker fails to get elected in America. Republican McCarthy does not get enough votes after split in Trump's party. And Team India aims for series win against Sri Lanka in their second T20 match on Thursday. Beat Sri Lanka by 2 runs in the first T20 match on Tuesday. A quick look now at our Flash News segment. National Highway construction witnessed growth of more than 48% in last 8 years. India now has over 1,44,000 kilometers of national highways. Monthly domestic air passenger traffic touched more than 1 crore to cross pre-COVID levels in December 2022, says Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia. Gujarat bill providing for criminal cases against protesters in violation of Section 144 of CRPC receives presidential assent. Paris-bound Air India flight with 210 passengers on board makes emergency landing at Delhi airport after a flap issue mid-air on Wednesday. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge forms 3-member panel to evaluate Gujarat Assembly results. Flagship program of Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Fit India Movement, to start special online series, Fit India Sunday Talks. Jal Shakti Ministry to organize the first All India Annual State Ministers Conference on Water, themed Water Vision at 2047 in Bhopal. 3 US regulators, US Fed Reserve, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and Office of the Comptroller of Currency jointly warned banks of cryptocurrency risks. Republican Kevin McCarthy fails to be elected Speaker of the US House of Representatives. House adjourns without Speaker being elected for the first time since 1923. And Elon Musk claims that the US government demanded suspension of more than 2 lakh accounts, including those of journalists and Canadian officials. Our top story. In a landmark move, the government has approved the National Green Hydrogen Mission. This initiative aims to make India a global hub of green hydrogen. The plan to promote the manufacturing of green hydrogen in the country was cleared in a meeting of the Union Cabinet that was chaired by Prime Minister Modi. The National Green Hydrogen Mission has an initial outlay of 19,744 crore rupees. The mission seeks to develop green hydrogen production capacity of at least 5 million metric tons per annum, with an associated renewable energy capacity addition of about 125 gigawatts by 2030. It envisages an investment of over 8 lakh crore rupees and creation of more than 6 lakh jobs by 2030. The mission will play an important role in dealing with climate change. Annually, the mission will help save 1 lakh crore rupees in the import of fossil fuels. Through this move, 50 million metric tons of carbon emissions will be averted annually. The mission will facilitate demand creation, production, utilization and export of green hydrogen. Let's take a look.
8 लाख करोड़ रुपए की डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट होगी, 6 लाख सीधे तौर पर इसमें जॉब्स क्रिएशन होगी, 50 मिलियन टन ग्रीन हाउस एमिशन को अवॉइड किया जाएगा, कम होंगे, और 50 लाख टन ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन बनाने का काम भी इसके माध्यम से प्रतिवर्ष किया जाएगा.
In other key decisions that were announced today, the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approved the investment of more than 2,000 crore rupees for the 382 megawatt Sunni Dam hydroelectric project in Himachal Pradesh. The project by state-owned SJVN Limited is expected to generate direct and indirect employment for about 4,000 people. The investment includes more than 13 crores as budgetary support from Government of India for the cost of enabling infrastructure.
2,614 करोड़ रुपए की अनुमानित लागत जिसके ऊपर आएगी उसको मंजूरी मिली है. ये सतलुज नदी पर बनेगा. जिला शिमला और मंडी ये 2 जिलों में स्थापित होगा. इसकी क्षमता जो है 382 मेगावाट की है और इस प्रोजेक्ट का निर्माण जो है वो SJVN सतलुज जल विद्युत निगम लिमिटेड करेगा.
The Cabinet also approved the Central Sector Broadcasting Infrastructure and Network Development Scheme. This scheme has an outlay of over 2,000 crore rupees up to 2025-26. The scheme aims to develop, modernize and strengthen both Doordarshan and Akashvani infrastructure and services. The scheme will provide financial support to Prasar Bharati for expansion and upgradation of its broadcasting infrastructure, content development and civil work that is related to the organization. Let's listen in.
दूरदर्शन ऑल इंडिया रेडियो के स्टूडियोज बनाने का काम किया जाएगा. ब्रॉडकास्टिंग इक्विपमेंट को मॉडर्नाइजेशन और डिजिटाइजेशन करने की दिशा में काम किया जाएगा. अच्छे प्रोग्राम बने, कंटेंट अच्छा बने, उस दिशा में काम करने के लिए पैसा मिला है. और स्टैंडर्ड डेफिनेशन जो ब्रॉडकास्टिंग में हम अभी कर रहे थे उसको हाई डेफिनेशन की ओर ले जाने का काम किया जाएगा.
Now, the Cabinet has given approval for naming of Greenfield International Airport at Goa's Mopa as Manohar International Airport as a tribute to former Defence Minister and Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar. The airport at Mopa in Goa was inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi in December 2022. Now, North India is reeling under an intense cold wave. The Met Department has said that severe cold, dense fog and cold wave will continue in northwest India for the next 3 days. Delhi recorded the season's lowest minimum temperature of 4.4 degrees Celsius on Wednesday morning. Dense fog reduced visibility to 200 meters, affecting movement. The IMD also shared satellite images showing a thick layer of fog over the Indo-Gangetic plains and central and eastern parts of India. It forecast cold wave conditions in Delhi for the next 3 days. Due to the cold wave, the pressure on the power grid may increase and the problems of the destitute may also increase.
फोरकास्ट का अगर बात करें, एक WD आ रहा है 7th को, तो जिसके वजह से अभी जो कोल्ड कंडीशन है ये रहेगा 24 to 48 आवर्स रहेगा, उसके बाद चला जाएगा. तो हम लोग जो वार्निंग है ऑरेंज कलर वार्निंग NCR के लिए दिए हैं नेक्स्ट 2 डेज, मेनली कोल्ड है और टेम्परेचर का. ठीक है. और बाकी अगर उत्तर भारत का बात करें तो सभी जगह में हाल ऑलमोस्ट दिल्ली जैसे है और सबसे कम तापमान जो है राजस्थान में है. जैसे चूरू है, सीकर है, तो मेनली चूरू में जो है -0.9 है.
Now, dense fog was also seen in many places in Rajasthan. The mercury dropped below zero in Fatehpur Sikar and Churu regions of Rajasthan. According to the Met Department, dense fog prevailed in parts of Bikaner, Jaipur, Bharatpur and Kota divisions. In the last 24 hours, the maximum and minimum temperature in Jaipur was recorded at 17.7 and 4.6 degrees Celsius respectively. An orange alert has been issued in view of the possibility of cold wave in several districts including Alwar, Bharatpur, Dholpur, Jhunjhunu and Karoli. And minimum temperature in Punjab and Haryana also remained below normal at many places on Tuesday. A dense layer of fog enveloped in many places, reducing visibility in the morning. Both states have been in the grip of a severe cold for the last several days. Gurdaspur was the coldest place in Punjab, where the mercury dropped to 2.5 degrees Celsius. Bhatinda recorded 4.6 degrees, Ludhiana 5.8 degrees, Amritsar was at 5.9 degrees, Patiala at 6 degrees, Amritsar again at 5.9 degrees and Mohali 6.8 degrees. Now, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann called on Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar at his official residence in New Delhi today. In the meeting, the Punjab Chief Minister extended New Year greetings to the Vice President. He also told that his government is relentlessly working for realizing the dreams of our great freedom fighters to ensure that the fruits of development are percolated at the grassroots level. The Vice President expressed hope that the Punjab government will work zealously for progress of the state and prosperity of its people. And time now for a quick look at some more news from across the nation. The Supreme Court has stayed the Allahabad High Court's direction to the Uttar Pradesh State Election Commission to notify the urban local body polls without OBC reservation. Supreme Court directed that a commission appointed by the state government would have to decide the matter by the 31st of March 2023. Also, to ensure smooth administration in local bodies whose terms have expired, the court allowed the delegation of powers to a 3-member body headed by the district magistrate. The Supreme Court will hear a plea challenging the Uttarakhand High Court's order directing the removal of encroachments from 29 acres of railway land in Haldwani on Thursday. The Uttarakhand High Court on 20th December ordered the removal of encroachments from 29 acres of railway land after giving 1 week's advance notice to encroachers to vacate it. The National Company Law Appellate Tribunal today directed Google to pay 10% of more than 1,000 crore rupees fine that was imposed on it by the Competition Commission of India before hearing its plea against the order. The CCI had, in fact, in October 2022, penalized Google for abusing its dominant position in the Android mobile device ecosystem. Markets traded under pressure and lost over 1% amid mixed cues. The decline was widespread, wherein real estate, metal and energy stocks were among the top losers. The broader indices too traded in tandem and ended with a cut of over 1% each. The BSE Sensex fell 636 points to close at 60,657, while NSE Nifty closed at 18,042 points with a fall of 189 points. The Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare on Wednesday said that the country recorded a total of 175 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. India's active caseload now stands at 2,570, with active cases at the rate of 0.01%. And time now for a very short break in the bulletin. Lots more coming up on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Journey of India's 75 years of independence, protection of rights, ensuring equality, to empower, to deliver justice. Laws that have defined India and its people, laws that everyone should know. Watch 75 years, laws that shaped India. With me, Hemant Batra, only on Sansad TV.
The only show of its kind that tries to demystify diplomacy and make complex international issues understandable to everyone. I am Vikas Swaroop. In every week, I bring you a new dispatch from the front lines of foreign affairs. We talk to the best experts who enlarge our understanding of foreign affairs and show us why the world matters to India and why India matters to the world. So keep watching Diplomatic Dispatch only on Sansad Television.
Welcome back. Let's take a look now at all the latest from the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Unauthorized use of cell phones by Russian soldiers led to the Ukrainian rocket attack on the facility where they were stationed, the Russian military said on Tuesday. The death toll in the deadly attack has risen to 89. Russian authorities said that phone signals allowed Kiev's forces to determine the coordinates of the location of military personnel and launch a strike in the area of Makivka. Measures were being taken to prevent similar tragic incidents in the future. Ukrainian forces fired 6 rockets from a US-provided HIMARS multiple launch system at a building where the soldiers were stationed on New Year's Day. Ukrainian President Zelensky said that Ukraine needs to strengthen its defenses in the face of Russia's plans to launch a new offensive. In a video address late Tuesday, Zelensky said that Russia will gather all they can to reverse the battlefield situation, but Ukraine must ensure the defeat of any attempted offensive launched by Russia. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin sent a frigate off to the Atlantic Ocean today. In a video conference, Putin said that the ship that is named Admiral of the Fleet of the Soviet Union Gorshkov was armed with Zircon hypersonic weapons. He said the Zircon hypersonic sea-based system has no equivalent. He said that the powerful weapon will allow Russia to protect itself from potential external threats. And let's take a look now at some more developments from across the globe. In a stunning development in the United States, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy faced an open revolt in the U.S. House of Representatives on Tuesday. It resulted in the failure of the House to elect a speaker in its first round of voting. The Republicans had won back the House in November's midterms with a slim 4-vote majority. Let's find out more in this report.
On a day of high political drama, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy repeatedly failed in his bid to be elected Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. The House adjourned without a Speaker on Tuesday night, the first time since 1923 that they had failed to choose a leader after a first-round vote. The start of a new Congress was supposed to be a celebration of victory for the Republican Party that gained control of the lower chamber after the midterm elections in November. But the Republican majority fell into disarray on the opening day of the new Congress itself, when Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, who stood for Speaker, faced a rebellion from within his own ranks. McCarthy failed to get elected in multiple rounds before the House finally adjourned for the night. Needing 218 votes in the full House, McCarthy got just 203 in 2 rounds, less even than Democrat Hakeem Jeffries in the GOP-controlled chamber, and fared even worse with 202 in round 3. McCarthy faced opposition from right-flank conservatives who refused to give him their votes. He, however, said he will continue to fight for the votes he needs to become the next speaker. House of Representatives will keep voting until someone wins a majority and agree to return at noon on Wednesday. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
Now, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty in a US Fed court to charges that he cheated investors and looted customer deposits on his trading platform. The 30-year-old is accused of illegally diverting billions of dollars of customer money from FTX to make lavish real estate purchases, donate money to politicians, and make risky trades. Let's take a look.
Sam Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty on Tuesday to criminal charges that he cheated investors in his now bankrupt FTX cryptocurrency exchange and caused billions of dollars in losses in what prosecutors have called an epic fraud. The 30-year-old defendant faces 8 criminal counts. He is accused of looting FTX customer deposits to support his research hedge fund, buy real estate and make millions of dollars in political contributions. Bankman-Fried is a Massachusetts Institute of Technology graduate who wrote to the Bitcoin digital asset boom to build a net worth of $26 billion. He became an influential political donor in the US. FTX collapsed in early November after a wave of withdrawals and declared bankruptcy on November 11th, wiping out Bankman-Fried's fortune. Bankman-Fried was extradited last month from the Bahamas, where he lived and where the exchange was based. The prosecutor's case was strengthened by last month's guilty pleas of two of Bankman-Fried's closest associates. FTX appointed a new chief executive who said FTX was run by grossly inexperienced and unsophisticated people. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And time now for a quick look at some more global news in our World Wrap segment. The Islamic State group claimed on Tuesday that the Sunday attack on the checkpoint in Kabul was carried out by the same member who took part in an assault on a hotel in Kabul in mid-December. The Islamic State has increased its attacks in Afghanistan since the Taliban takeover in 2021. Targets have included Taliban patrols and members of Afghanistan's Shiite minority. Islamic State published a photo of the attacker, identifying him as Abdul Jabbar. Ecuador, Japan, Malta, Mozambique and Switzerland got a formal welcome into the UN Security Council on Tuesday, taking the two-year seats they won unopposed in June. In a tradition that Kazakhstan started in 2018, the 5 countries' ambassadors installed their national flags on Tuesday alongside those of other members outside the council chambers. South Korea said Seoul and Washington are discussing their involvement in US nuclear weapons management in the face of intensifying North Korean threats. President Joe Biden has denied that the allies were discussing joint nuclear exercises. South Korea is seeking a greater US security commitment after North Korea's record number of missile tests and escalating nuclear doctrine last year caused security jitters in the South. US President Joe Biden renominated at least half a dozen Indian Americans to key posts in the administration, which could not be confirmed by the Senate in the last Congress. The 118th Congress kicked off on Tuesday with the swearing-in of senators and the start of the process of election of the Speaker of the US House of Representatives. Among those renominated and sent to the Senate were Richard Verma and Dr. Vivek H. Murthy. And 12 Indian fishermen arrested for allegedly fishing in Sri Lankan waters have been released, according to media reports. The fishermen were arrested while fishing in Jaffna waters. They were released after being warned not to re-enter the northern seas of Sri Lanka. And time now for all the latest from the world of sports. India win a last ball thriller in the first T20 International against Sri Lanka. Debutant pacer Shiva Mavi's 4 for 22 critical in India's narrow 2-run win, defending 162. Second match to be played tomorrow at Pune. Cricketer Rishabh Pant has been shifted to Mumbai for further treatment of his ligament and ankle injuries. BCCI empaneled doctors would take decisions once his swelling subsides and better scans are possible. Meanwhile, Australia end rain curtailed day 1 of the Sydney Test against South Africa at 147 for 2. Khwaja still on the crease with a half-century. Neighbours Pakistan try hard to come close to the Kiwi first innings score. Saud Shakil's 124 not out takes Pakistan to 407 for 9 at the end of day 3. Pakistan trail by 42 runs. Cristiano Ronaldo describes himself as a unique player and insists his career was not over as he receives a thunderous welcome at his new club, Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. And playing for Greece in the United Cup at Perth, Stefanos Tsitsipas beats Borna Koric of Croatia in an exciting 3-setter 6-0, 6-7, 7-5. And with that, it's a wrap of the bulletin this evening. Do stay tuned to Sansad TV for all the latest news and updates. Do also share your feedback with us on our social media sites. Thank you for being here. Good night.